Hi, my name's Nick Devon. Welcome back to Radio Friendly. It's been a while since my last video, but I'm back, and this video is going to be on the top 10 singles of 2019 so far. I wrote an article on the blog last week about how I've struggled to really find music that I could sink my teeth into in 2019 compared to 2018, where we had such great releases in the first half of that year. But in that article I mentioned how the singles from this year have been fantastic. Maybe not the entire project on the album, but the singles have been certainly standouts for me. So it was actually pretty hard for me to get 10, a solid 10, because I had so many on my list. So starting at number 10 for the top 10 singles of 2019 so far, we have Trip the Mains by Methyl Ethyl. This track, heard at the beginning of the year, took a while to grow on me, especially considering Methyl Ethyl's previous singles with Ubu. But and that was such a dancey tune, and Trip the Mains is a bit of a different direction. It's more psychedelic, more psych pop. It has really lavish production, which over time I've really been able to appreciate. I didn't totally enjoy Methyl Ethyl's album, but the single is definitely a standout and makes me appreciate what Methyl Ethyl tried to do on the album itself. Just the vocal styles and the production style in itself with the instrumentation. It's quite a weird single, but I'm excited to see where Methyl Ethyl go now, considering how they've sort of handled themselves with Trip the Mains. Number 9, we have Borderline by Tame Impala. I've gone on record multiple times saying that Currents is shit. I don't think it's a good album at all. Also because Lonerism and Inner Speaker are some of my favourite albums of the past decade, and yeah, not a big fan of Currents. And in saying that, I wasn't too excited about new Tame Impala music. I don't like the disco sort of, I don't know, 70s pop style that Kevin Parker was going for. But on Borderline, I don't know, it was more of a case of hearing it enough that I liked it. Like I said, the psych disco wasn't what I wanted out of Kevin Parker's production. I liked the more Beatles-esque psych sort of revolver style production that he had on the first couple albums. But on Borderline, it's the vocal hook and the chorus. They're just so catchy that I find myself humming the melodies to them, and I figured if I'm humming a song that much, it should belong on this list. Verses do become a bit skeletal, very bare, but it's where the chorus picks up. When the chorus picks up, Borderline really flourishes, and it's a solid tune. Number 8, we have Dylan Thomas by Better Oblivion Community Center. This was another one that grew on me a bit. The project didn't impress me too much at first, but the more I listened to it, the more I really appreciated the album. And Dylan Thomas is my favourite single off that album. The lyrics are catchy, they're quirky, simple chord progression, and it's a melancholic folky tune. The duality between Connor Oberst and Phoebe Bridgers is really what shines through, not only on the album itself, but especially on Dylan Thomas. They sing the verses together at the same time. It's not like we take turns like in Angus and Julia Stone style, but it's hearing those two voices paired together that's really, really nice to listen to. At number 7, we have Cattails by Big Thief, another folky tune. Adrian Lenker's vocals are equally beautiful and haunting on Cattails. The beauty in the song itself is within the repetition. The verses just sort of repeat until a twangy guitar build towards the end of the song. It's nothing unfamiliar to folk fans, but the playfulness that Big Thief bring to this track with the riffs and the instrumentation makes Cattails stand out against other sort of folky tunes. Some of the other songs on the album are really solid too. I can't remember the name of the album, but Cattails is one of the first singles off of it. It's what caught my attention for the album coming up. And yeah, solid tune. 6, we have Old Man by Stella Donnelly. Seeing the growth of Stella Donnelly over the years has been sort of a fulfilling journey. I first saw her in Brisbane a few years ago at the Big Sound conference and festival, and She was the talk of the festival for her beautifully sort of harrowing lyrics and her husky, smoky sort of vocal style. Her tune, Boys Will Be Boys, is devastating and powerful, but it's the growth overall it's the growth in her songwriting that we see in Old Man. She has really solid songwriting on her EP and on the album that this comes from too, but I find that Old Man not only shows growth in songwriting but also growth in her instrumentation. Yeah, lyrically and musically, Old Man's really, really strong. The descending guitar riff that repeats throughout the verses is solid, it's really catchy, it's unique. And the welcome addition to the lush instrumentation and sort of the complex vocal harmonies in the chorus themselves make Old Man one of the best tracks on the album. At number 5 we have Juice by Lizzo. I think this is one of the catchiest pop tunes of the year. It ticks all the boxes. I'd say it's one of the best pop songs of the year, and it will be remembered as one of the best of the decade. I think it's that good. It's joyous, it's upbeat, you can't help but groove to Juice. Lizzo is soulful, and the bopping bass line is fucking great. And Lizzo's chorus is stellar. It's catchy, it's everything that you want from a pop song. It's not overproduced like some of your Taylor Swifts or your Ariana Grande styles. It's honest too in its songwriting. It's very, it's upbeat, it's that pop, it's what you get from pop, but there's a personality there to the tune, and that's within Lizzo's music itself, and that's what I really, really like about it. It is your generic pop song, but it's so much more if you listen to the lyrics, and yeah, it's great. It'll be remembered for many, many years to come. At number 4 we have Almeida by Solange. This is my favourite tune off of Solange's When I Get Home that came out earlier in the year, I think in March. The rattling hi-hats blend the trap beats with Solange's blend of soulful R&B. The track even feels a bit psychedelic in nature, with the bending bass notes and the glitched beats that sort of just feel a bit scattered throughout the song. Playboi Carti's feature elevates the track too. His weird vocal style complements Solange's soulful R&B style, her soul refrains. Repetition in Solange's verses when she sings brown liquor, brown skin, brown face, brown leather, brown sugar. It makes the song memorable, makes it catchy, but it also, she's listing off these personal traits, these particular traits to African Americans, while digging into Solange's roots in the Southern black culture as well. So it almost feels, on surface value, you've just got this kind of R&B trap blend, but and it's in the simplicity of its lyrics that you notice that there's something else going on underneath. That's what I think Solange has done so well on that album, and Almeida is my favourite song off that. At number 3 we have Gorgeous by Slow Tie. I heard this on YouTube as it came out, and it was the beat that sold me on it. I didn't know who Slow Tie was. I clicked on it. It was that lo-fi hip-hop tune. The beat felt like a lo-fi hip-hop tune from the 90s. Then Slow Tie starts to rap, and it's this Cockney slang, off-kilter rap style he's got. Very odd, sometimes awkward, but it worked. And on Gorgeous, I think it's really highlighted well. It feels grimy, but it also feels clean thanks to the solid production. Slow Tie's rhyming scheme is a bit unconventional. His rhymes sometimes miss the beat, so there's this rolling syncopated rhythm to his rhyming pattern when he rhymes off beat, or when he continues just to say words. You don't always understand what he's saying. It's odd, often hard to understand, but I find that the track is extremely hypnotic once you sort of you hone in on the beats and what Slow Tie is eventually saying once you figure that out. At number 2 we have Jailbreak the Tesla by Injury Reserve. Another track where the beat sold it for me. It's a novel idea rapping about jailbreaking a Tesla. It has nods to those noughties, sort of the MySpace era, where kids would, people my age when we were kids, we would jailbreak iPods and pirate apps, pirate things onto our phones, iPod touches. And then the song itself raises the idea of what if we can do that in 2019 jailbreak our cars. Not so much mod them physically, but with software. It's refreshing to hear a banger track that's not just talking about, you know, fucking bitches, drinking lean, flexing on how much cash they earn. And I feel like that's what Injury Reserve does best. They go against the grain. Their production is always off kilter, and the sampling of the wheels screeching in the track shows sort of this playful innovation that we've come to expect from Injury Reserve. The lyrics are smart, they're funny, they relate to the topic itself, and I just think, yeah, it's a banger tune. Before we get to number one, I have some honourable mentions that I'd like to just add, because I couldn't fit them into obviously a top 10. So we've got Old Town Road by Lil Nas X as an honourable mention, On the Square by Mac DeMarco, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, Peach by Kevin Abstract, Turn to Hate by Orville Peck, Boogeyman Sam by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Drained by the Brian Jonestown Massacre, and Ricky by Denzel Curry. And at number one for the top singles of 2019 so far, we have Earthquake by Tyler the Creator. I could have picked a handful of tracks off of Tyler's album Eagle, which came out a couple months ago, but it's the second track, Earthquake, that I think is one of the catchiest, and I assume is the most popular out of the singles that he's released. But prior to the album itself, he released like 1 minute cuts from a lot of the different songs, but I think Earthquake is one of the only ones that he's released as a full single at the moment. I'd say that Eagle's Theme, I think, New Magic Wonder, arguably a better tune, but Earthquake is one of the catchiest. I'm not saying that it's a bad track. It's great. The G-Funk synth line that bends throughout the tune, in the background, the vocal harmonies that Tyler the Creator weaves in, the psychedelic flourishes and the soulful refrains that are scattered throughout, and the heartfelt chorus of when he says, "You make my earthquake." And then you got Playboi Carti's verse, and say what you will about the guy, but I really think that his off-kilter, his weird rapping style really does elevate whatever he's on, even if you can't understand what he's saying. I think Earthquake is one of the songs I've listened to the most so far that's come out of 2019, and yeah, that's why it's at my list. Right, so thank you for watching. That was just a quick video on the best singles of the year that I think so far. There was a lot that I could have picked from. Those honourable mentions will no doubt be in my list at the end of the year too, because they're sort of shaped pop culture. They might not be my favourites, but you need to mention them at least. Thanks for watching. Click the links down in the description to see radiofriendly.com.au, the new blog that we started at the beginning of the year. And yeah, I'll hopefully have some more videos up shortly, and trying to get this thing rolling again. Thanks for watching. Cheers.